Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be how to get over anger. So I'll cover that in a minute. This kind of came up through some conversations, so wanted to tackle this subject. Take a breath, let it out. I'm full of yawns recently. All right, so how to get over anger. Somebody asked me this question. They said, I'm starting to get over the fear. How do I get over that anger? Right, so I guess there's a couple aspects here. As I've always said, I don't favor suppression, repression, pushing emotions away. My approach in my world is feel your emotions so they can release, so they don't accumulate, right? But feel the emotions without judging yourself harshly for getting them. So if anger is something that you've struggled with in the past because you've got some judgment about yourself if you get angry, I'm going to encourage you to just allow yourself to feel it in the privacy of your head, your heart, your home, your car, your bathroom, your bedroom, wherever. Allow yourself to experience that anger without judgment. But also, see if you can drop the story behind the anger. Because if you can, or if you decide to review that story over and over and over again, you can make yourself angry over and over and over again. And, case in point, I remember being at work once, in a big office, lots of cubicles, lots of people working there. And somebody came in and they started telling the first person they saw, oh man, somebody cut me off on the highway this morning driving to work. He told this story and he was getting all aggravated and animated as he was telling this story. And then 20 minutes later, I hear this person telling the same story to somebody else, and he's getting himself all aggravated and all worked up again as he tells this story. And was he still angry from the incident, or was he recreating the anger over and over again by telling the story over and over and over again? My observation was that he was creating the anger over and over again based on retelling the story over and over again. So, if you want to deal with anger, allow yourself to feel it. Don't judge yourself. You're not crazy. You're not out of control. In most cases, our emotions are very justified. It's okay to get angry. It's a human emotion. But allow yourself to feel it without judgment and drop the story. You already know why you're pissed off, right? So, how to get over anger. What if similar things keep on coming up and it keeps on making you angry? So I'm going to encourage you to observe the anger. Observe the underlying root cause of the anger. Is it truly the situation that is causing the anger, or is it your chosen response to the situation that allows the anger to be felt? Right? Case in point, traffic jam. Some people get really, really pissed off. And some people chill out, turn up the radio, and they hum along to the tunes. Same traffic jam. Was it the traffic that caused the anger, or was it the person's response to that traffic? Let's look at symptoms. Your pain, your symptoms. Is it the symptom that's causing the anger, or is it your response to the symptom that's causing the anger? And here I'll tell you, it's very clear to me in observing all the people I work with in the group coaching, one-on-one coaching prior to that, observing comments on Facebook and YouTube, and probably tens of thousands of comments by now over the 4.5 years I've been doing these daily videos. Generally what I see is anger is not beneficial for recovery. I've never seen somebody get so pissed off at their symptoms that, poof, they went away. It just doesn't happen that way. The primary reason for that is the root cause of symptoms is the perception of danger. Well, if you are really angry at your symptoms, are you creating any sense of safety? Or are you basically creating this perception that I'm in trouble, there's a problem, I'm really pissed off about it. Danger, danger, danger. So, as it relates to anger, is it the situation that's truly angering, or is it your response to that situation? Now, some people might say, well, I've got somebody in my family or my spouse that always pisses me off. And sometimes it seems like they're doing it on purpose. I get it. That can definitely happen. But is it truly that other person that is making you as angry as you are? Or is it your chosen response? Now, I am not in any way, shape, or form blaming you for your anger. I'm trying to just point out that if you get angry at traffic, you can also choose not to get angry with traffic and say, I'll get there when I get there. Relax, turn up the radio, and or call a friend, and just you'll get through the traffic when you do. Interpersonal situations are a little bit different because, there's somebody else that's kind of poking you, pushing your buttons, if you will. And that can certainly cause an issue. But what would happen if you chose not to react with the same amount of anger? Generally when bullies don't get a reaction, they stop bullying you and they go find somebody else, right? I don't know. It's a tricky situation as it relates to interpersonal situations, people in your life, in your family, in your relationship. Yes, sometimes they can push our buttons. But it's okay to get angry. Just don't live in it all day long. Because if you're living in it all day long, you might still be mad at this person hours, days, weeks, months, years after the thing they did that pissed you off in the first place. That's why we go back to the initial recommendation. Allow yourself to experience the emotion without judging yourself, without the story. And I've heard Dr. Joe Dispenza talk about this. He says, an emotion is for a moment. If you recreate that emotion over and over and over again with the story, that creates a mood. So that emotion can become a mood which lasts longer. But if you allow it to perpetuate longer and longer and longer, it can become your disposition. And if you allow it to perpetuate even longer, it can become your personality. You don't want to be the angry person. It's not good for you. It's going to remove so much joy from your life. So how do we deal with anger? In the moment, we feel it. We can do that in private. Make angry faces at the mirror. But do it without judging yourself. How many people grew up having parents that said, I'll give you something to be angry about. You're angry at me? I'll give you something to be angry about. Right? At least I did. I heard that. My dad was an angry guy. And he had a temper. Boy, did he have a temper. And if there was any amount of pushback, he got even more angry. And I learned from him that anger is something that I didn't want to experience. I didn't want to be the angry jerk like he was. So what did I do? Pushed it away. I think I would have been a lot better off had I learned that anger is okay to feel. Feel it. And look, sometimes there are situations that warrant an adult conversation. Sometimes you got to sit down with this person who's pushing your buttons and say, dude, lady, this doesn't fly. This can't continue. This makes me feel this way and it's not acceptable. Now, sometimes those conversations can go quite well. Sometimes they don't go so well. And so I know there are cases where those adult conversations are not welcome by the other person. I get it. But do what you can. Make some smart decisions. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to walk around angry all the time about sometimes the same repetitive story, you can make some choices as to how long you're going to hold on to that anger. It's called holding on to a grudge. If you want to know how uncomfortable that can be, make a fist and squeeze it as hard as you can. And do that, and keep on holding it, and keep on holding it. After a while, you're going to start to feel it hurt. I think holding on to anger is the same thing. The longer you hold it, the harder you squeeze, the more it ends up hurting you. You ever run into a situation where you're somewhere and you're having an argument in your head with the person who you're angry with about something that happened 3 weeks ago? I should have said this. I should have said that. Next time I see them, I'm going to say this. I know that happens because I've done it. And this person doesn't even know you're still mad at them. They may not even know you were mad at them in the first place. So holding on to a grudge, holding on to that resentment, holding on to the anger doesn't really serve us, and especially in the mind-body space, this TMS, perceived danger, pain, or symptom space. Holding on to anger does not create a sense of safety in the brain. As a matter of fact, it does the opposite. It creates a perception of danger. So if you're always walking around angry at the people around you, at your situations, and even more so, at your own symptoms, it's not helpful. It's not going to allow you to eliminate your symptoms by getting mad at them, frustrated, pissed off. It doesn't help. So you can make a knowledgeable, intelligent choice to say, yes, I do get mad. Hey, brain, I know. Look, yes, I am mad. But we're not going to stay there. We're not going to live there. And when I feel the symptoms, I've got a choice. I can either buy into the anger or the fear or the frustration or the anxiety or the despair or whatever emotions are coming up, or I can remind myself that I know what causes symptoms, perception of danger. And I know that it applies to me because I've done the assessments. Go to isthispdp.com. There's 2 assessments. Do them if you're in doubt as to what the cause of your symptoms are. But then if you know what causes symptoms and that's what's going on with you, why get angry about it? Especially when you now know that anger is not the solution. I haven't seen that work. You can get clear with your brain. You can even get a little bit firm with your brain to say, hey, brain, we're not playing this game anymore. I'm not angry, but I am just being very clear. There's no reason for the symptoms. I'm going to do more and more in my life. I'm going to keep on expanding my capacity. And you can come along for the ride if you want. If you want to bring the symptoms along, that's great. I've got little to no concern about the symptoms. And with consistency, calm, confidence, clarity, you can teach your scared, misinformed brain that you're actually okay. So anger, does that help you get better from TMS, perceived danger pain? I don't think it is. But you can also make a firm decision for the things I am really angry about. How many of them are directly within my control? Cross off, write a list. All the things I'm angry about. How much of them can you control? You're probably going to cross off most of them. And if you're angry with another person, do I have any influence over that person? Well, look, sometimes the way we respond to somebody else can impact their behavior. And if we respond like, hey, all right, Charlie, you don't bug me anymore. You can't get a rise out of me. After a while, they're going to stop poking at you. So just food for thought. But how to deal with anger? Feel it so it can release. Feel it without judging yourself harshly and without the story, because you already know what the story is. You don't have to replay it over and over. So drop the story. Don't ruminate on the reasons why you're angry. And what you may find is that many of the reasons you're angry are the same reasons you were angry yesterday and the day before and the 6 months and the years before. And ask yourself, how much value did that anger give me? Maybe it gave you a temporary sense of power. Yeah, I'm angry. But it's not helping you live a happier, better, more pain-free life. So I hope this helps. Hope everybody's doing great. And love you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.